Well, guys, well, I love this preamble to the show.
I just love pre.
I also love pre. We are doing a new show. Welcome to Are We the Assholes, the official podcast to get all of your Am I the Asshole and Reddit story updates for your ear holes. So
the slop giveth, and y'all are pigs.
Yes, we must feed the. We must fill the trough. So,
feed from me.
We're stirring the pot, if you will.
The slop pot. The sloppy poppies.
Did I show you guys my my new fucking well, it's not gonna look good. My new monitor that I have.
No, I didn't know what you were trying to show.
You finally have something bigger than your laptop display.
Yes, I do, and it is so nice. Oh my god!
I'm still using the laptop display. Don't talk too much shit. You'll make me sad.
Hey, I'm using my TV right now, and I'm on the couch, fucking Game Grumps style over here.
Do you have
mic in my hand?
Is that why you don't have the camera on? Is it because you don't have pants on?
That's because
yeah. That, and I don't know where it is right now.
You don't know where your pants are. I like the first option
now? Better.
That's okay. We don't need your pants. Yeah,
that's true. No, don't have to wear pants, Brandle.
For content, we do.
Like.
That is true. Well, hey, listen. So for everybody to know, we are your hosts. I'm Tyler. I'm joined with Brayden and Brandle. We are three dudes who have enough life experience to determine whether or not someone's an asshole. And that's kind of about the extent of our life experience.
That's literally all we know how to do.
Yeah.
That's
We're qualified.
Nothing else.
Incredibly qualified for this.
You know how sometimes when you have an AI, you just feed it crap until it can start saying something semi-legible. That's basically what we are.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's how we grew up. So I'm the one pulling these stories today. The first story is a bit of a doozy. It has like 4 updates to it, so it's a long one. So
how many updates?
Oh, it was like 7,000 or something like that.
No, man, that person definitely earned.
Yeah. The title of this story is Am I the Asshole for Telling My Lesbian Ex-Wife That Her Partner Cannot Be My Son's Mom?
Oh?
That seems pretty front-loaded,
Yeah, immediately, right? So, it goes, Hi all. Throw away because my friends are not completely aware of this current situation. I, 35 male, was married to my ex-wife, 34 female, for 7 years. 2 years ago, my ex-wife came out as lesbian. This came as a complete shock to me. She and her partner were co-workers who had an affair since she joined the company a year before our divorce. We have a son together, 8 male, and this came as a complete shock to me. I was heartbroken and devastated. I felt betrayed as I had spent 7 years of my life with this woman, and it all felt like a lie now. When I confronted her, she told me that she had to live her truth, quote, and that she, quote, tried to suppress her identity because she didn't come to terms with it till she met her partner.
He was a beard.
He was a beard. When I asked whether she loved me...
He was a beardy boy.
He said, see you later. When I asked whether she loved me, she told me that while she loves me, it's different than how she loved her new partner. This broke my heart even further. The divorce was quick, as she did not want anything from me, and we agreed to a 50-50 split of custody. But I decided to go no contact with her and handled the custody transfer process through my sister, 27 female, whom I moved in with after the divorce. I sold the house.
Did she keep the house?
No. So they sold the house and they mutually agreed that the excess money from the sale will be in a college fund for our son in the future. I could not bear to stay in that house anymore as it kept reminding me of her betrayal. Which I kind of get, a little bit, but at the same time, I don't know. The people, I get it if like a murder happen somewhere. But like, if someone was just like fucking in my house, like,
I mean, also think about the price of real estate these days. You just lost an asset right there.
Yeah, no, that was a good nest egg. For context, she introduced her partner as her work friend, and I believed her. I had no reason to suspect anything, and they had several girls' nights, but I figured that they were probably using these as the affair. No, they definitely were. They were.
What do you mean probably?
Fucking. Yeah, that was going. Yeah, that was what was going on, man. For 6 months, I was in a depressive state because I didn't know where I went wrong. But this is one of those scenarios that anything I would have done wouldn't have been able to make it better. This made me even more depressed, and the fact that all the vows and little things that she said at our wedding were all just lies trying to keep up a ruse made it even worse. The two people that got me through this state was my sister, whom I'm eternally grateful for helping with her nephew and helping me while maintaining her career. The other person that got me through this was my college ex-girlfriend. Around 4 months after the divorce, we reconnected at a reunion, and she really helped through the worst of it as a friend. Around a year after the divorce, we started officially dating, and I introduced her to my son. Well, yeah, I guess sometimes
I was surprised. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't say his son helped him get through it.
Well, the son's like 8. How much do you expect like an 8-year-old to?
Yeah.
Look, man, it's like I assume it's like taking care of a dog where they keep you so busy you don't have time to think about it.
Well, the only thing I would think in that regard that it would help the father is not
kiss himself.
Oh, holding on for dear life, because you have your little one.
Yeah,
but it's one of those situations where you're like, okay,
that shouldn't ever be like put on like a kid, right? At the very least, you shouldn't ever tell your kid that.
No, you shouldn't. Ask me how I know.
Yes. Dear God.
Exactly.
During all this time, my ex's partner had been living limited interactions with my son. This was not because of me saying anything, but my ex-wife wanted him to adjust to his new reality. My son is in that weird age that he understands what's going on.
Reality of mom gay.
Yeah, but he doesn't really understand what's actually going on. If you know, you know. He understands that mommy has a girlfriend and that me and his mom are not together anymore. I'm pretty happy considering we didn't really talk to him about the LGBTQ plus stuff because we had decided that we can talk about this when he's a bit older, but I'm happy that he's come to terms with the divorce, which is good.
If he understands that.
Yeah, exactly. Around 8 months ago, my ex said that she was officially moving in with her partner and that she was engaged. At this point, I was on no contact except brief conversations that concerned our son. She invited me to the wedding, but I declined. Oh my. Could you imagine?
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah. No, that would be nuts.
Speaking of sisters.
Shalom, Maddie. She can't hear me, but
you're saying hi.
Speaking of sisters who take care of.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Why are you fat?
Wow, Brayden.
Huh? I know. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what he said because he was just being an asshole.
Right.
Oh, wow. Well, she guessed. Yeah, goddamn dick.
Hey, we came out of the same womb where we bathed in stupid juice.
Stupid juice.
Sick. Yes. Anyways. Thanks, babe. Love you. See you soon. Okay. Where was I? Okay, yeah. I declined getting invited to your ex-wife's wedding with the person she cheated on you with. How would you guys react to that?
It depends. Do they expect me to send a wedding gift?
Okay, no, you don't have to send a wedding gift. Would you do it?
I'd same thing he would probably do. Either not respond or politely decline and cry in the corner.
Okay, well now here's the second part. They're planning to have a destination wedding in Spain where her girlfriend lives. So if it was like a foreign country,
wow.
Wait, so she lives in Spain, but they were hooking up as coworkers.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand the logic here.
Is this a Europe thing?
It might be.
Europe thing.
Anyways, she wanted to take our son to the wedding, and he would have to miss school for a week since she wanted him to meet her girlfriend's family as well. I told her that missing school for a week does not make sense and that she should plan her wedding when he has vacation since she doesn't have a fixed date yet. I mean, it's a week of school.
That's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it works out.
I feel like, no offense, I feel like, the whole situation is fucked anyway, but I feel like that's just a defensive part on the father's end. Because a week of school for the child
to lash out.
Yeah. The week of school for the kid it's not going to hurt.
Yeah, I know. I can definitely, and I kind of feel the same too. I'm like, who cares about the week of school?
Yeah.
No. This week of elementary school is integral to his future success.
Hey, you never know, man. It might be.
They were going to teach him.
Bill Nye, the science guy, might be there, and just might change him. Anyways, he did relent and agreed since he didn't want to interact. I relented and agreed since I didn't want to interact with her anymore, and it was well within her rights to have her son at her wedding. The problem started when my son came back after the wedding. He was supposed to stay with me since we have a flexible week in, week out custody agreement. She wanted to take my son on her honeymoon so that he has a chance to bond with his new stepmother. I told her that she already had 2 weeks with him since she had custody for a week before the wedding, and that I wanted to spend some father-son time with him. I told her that it is well within my rights and that she should go spend some time with her new wife. She argued that since our son's interactions with her partner were limited because of her busy schedule, that this was a great opportunity for them to bond. I told her that she had 2 weeks for him to get to know her partner. She said that they were busy with the wedding and did not have time. I told her that I had taken vacation days for us to go to a motorcycle expo and build a Lego set. 2 things that my son absolutely loves. What a good dad.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds fucking cool.
Damn, I know what I want you to do for my birthday.
Not to cut you off there, but 2 things to that. First thing, it sounds like he already had something planned out. I think the wife on that is us as well. Second of all, I feel like it should be on the kid is young, but it's kind of up to them since it's the mother and father that are really involved in that whole thing. He shouldn't feel like he has to participate.
The thing that I'm kind of curious now, she's like, you had him for 2 weeks, and she's like, we were too busy to properly bond. Did you keep the kid in a cage for 2 weeks or something? Where was the kid while you were doing all this?
No, honestly though, how, you get limited time with your son, and I understand being busy with the wedding, but if you're wanting him to bond and connect with this new person that you're with, then you would just fucking take him. I don't know. Take him with you to go do the shops, do the whatever you gotta do for the wedding. And I kind of agree with you, Brandle. I think the kid should have somewhat of a choice. I mean, I come from a divorced family where they divorced while I was kind of young.
I'm pretty sure all of us did, except the young part.
Yeah. And so I get that to an extent where sometimes I just really didn't want to be with my dad, but that was kind of a different situation. I feel like if I had this guy as a dad at that age, I probably wouldn't mind. Yeah, it's fucking cool. And so, I mean, to an extent, right? I feel like if there's abuse or something going on, the kid definitely should have more of a say. But if it's, I don't know, both parents are the parents just trying to do their best, then it's
right. And I know it's complicated, especially for somebody so young.
Yeah.
And also, like, if there are no signs of abuse, I feel like it goes back to the court proceedings and what was worked out between them and legally.
Yeah. But anyways, so she kept arguing, and I finally told her that the custody was placed for a reason, and that's the one thing I will not negotiate on. She got angry at me and left. Me and my son had a great experience. I even got him one of those kid-sized motorcycles since he liked them so much.
Oh man,
yeah,
probably a
fucking cool.
YZF 200.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
that's awesome.
Those things are cool little motards.
Hell yeah. Over the next few weeks, we returned back to our week in, week out routine. One day, I find that my ex posted a photo shoot of them and my son under a caption of #lesbianmommies. I thought that it was... I thought that it was post and it probably meant nothing, but it was showing them as a family.
Who would ever have put those words together?
Right? Yeah,
in a tagging system.
Not the best tag there. And something about that did not sit right with me. When I got my
sounded
son for the
familiar. Too familiar.
Yeah. There's just a few search terms that I normally look up.
Why was this auto-filled?
Yeah, what the hell?
I clicked on the link to see what people were saying, and oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes. Yeah. Okay. When I got my son for the week, I asked him that if his mom was saying anything to him. He relented a bit, but told me that his mother had been trying to convince him to call her partner his mom. This was a shock to me, as I never expected my ex to do this. Then again, I've been wrong about these things before.
For 7 years, admittedly.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Rough. Wow.
Oh, dude.
Double
poor
down
guy.
on himself there. Sorry.
Yeah, poor guy. I asked him if that's something he wanted, and he told me that he is much more comfortable calling her by her first name, and that he feels weird with calling two people mom.
As he should.
Well,
if he feels comfortable with it, sure. But
yeah,
you gotta realize he grew up with the situation with the mother and the father. Now, if he grows up and he feels comfortable with it, that's a different story. But right now, at least given in this context, obviously it's a bias from his side of the story. It feels like she's just kind of pushing it on him.
Yeah, and it's a little.
And it also sounded like the kid was more or less like getting used to the living situation, and she was kind of hands off. And then, like, over the course of 2 weeks, all of that was dropped.
Yeah, which it's a radical change. And then to be like, hey, this is your other mom now. It'd be like if his dad ended up remarrying and was like, hey, you need to call this person your mom too. And it's like, no, that's not my mom. That's Linda.
Nah, that's
fucking Linda. Sorry.
Fuck. What is the name of Cinderella's stepmom? I can't remember. Starts with a G.
Griselda?
Gretchen. Yes, Griselda. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, I called my ex and asked her to meet up because this was serious and I wanted to discuss this. I confronted her about this and she told me that since her and her partner were married, it's only natural for our son to have two moms now. I told her that it's not okay for her to try and convince him into calling her partner his mom because she is not his mother. She doesn't have an active parenting role in his life, and that any major parenting decisions require the two of us. She tried making an argument that since me and my girlfriend were becoming serious now, and that eventually I want him to start calling her mom. And that eventually I might want him to start calling her mom. I told her even if we become serious, I won't try to convince our son to start calling her mom because he already has two parents and he doesn't need more.
Hey,
then she
Timmy, why do you get three moms?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I was just thinking about that.
This is mom, mommy, and mother.
Here's where it gets crazy. Then she dropped the bombshell on me. She told me that she and her partner were hoping that eventually down the line, they can file for adoption. I'll still be able to visit and see my son, but she wanted her and her wife to have legal guardianship because they wanted to build a new family with them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So they're wanting to take full custody here? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Wanting to
Oh
take
my
full
God.
custody.
And they're
Because
saying that down the line. So like,
That's not okay.
yeah, no, that's really fucked up. I told her absolutely not, and that our partners have no say in our kids' lives. She accused me of being homophobic for denying her the right to a complete family. And I told her while her life is her choice and our son's life is her choice, our son's life has to be a thing that we decide ourselves. I ended the conversation there.
Where'd that bingo card go?
Right? And told my son to tell me if her mother tries to force him to do anything that he doesn't want to do.
I would also say, like, dude, you kind of knew what situation you were walking into. Bring a third party. Don't care who it is. Bring a third party.
Oh, 100%.
Like, tell her to bring a third party as well. Like, whatever, fair is fair, but like, don't go into that shit alone.
Okay, makes sense. Anyways, 3 weeks later, I found out that my ex had enrolled him in Spanish lessons that he told me that he hated doing. For context, my ex is Latin and her partner is Spanish, so they are more comfortable talking to each other in Spanish. We made the decision to raise our son in English because it made sense at the time, as she speaks English better than Spanish, and I don't speak any Spanish. When I discussed this, she told me that she would like her son to connect more to his heritage. I said that I don't have a problem with that, but we have tried this several times before when we were married, and he had shown zero interest in it. She told me that this time might be different since he'll have 2 Spanish speakers at home. I told her that I'm in all favor of bilingualism because 2 languages are always an advantage, especially for kids. But if he doesn't want to do it, there's no reason to force him to do it. Maybe try another language. She then accuses me of denying our son his roots and goes on a tirade of accusing me of denying our son his identity and coming back to me denying her right to a family. This bitch.
It's just like, it's shoving it down his throat, shoving it down her son's throat. It's just
this is your wife. This is your wife on Tumblr.
Yeah, my God.
Don't let your wife on Tumblr.
take control of the situation here.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out like where this could take place.
No, seriously though. Anyways, my girlfriend usually stays out of these matters, but she advised me to contact my lawyer and see what they can actually do. My lawyer told me that even if they send an adoption notice, I can contest it, and it would take something exceptional like abandonment, etc., for my contest to get rejected.
Like
My
leaving
ex-
your kid in a child, or leaving your child in a cage for like 2 weeks while
you plan a wedding.
out a wedding, I guess.
Yeah, you know. Anyways,
Not that I'm accusing anyone.
there's a chance here. Who knows? I mean, it could have happened. My ex keeps posting our son as a part of her new family, and it's honestly started to trigger me. 2 weeks ago, I interacted for the first time with my ex's new wife after the divorce. She contacted me and asked to meet up. She told me that my ex had finally started to recover from the social trauma of coming out and building a new life with her, and that I am now getting in the way of the happiness. She accused me of being emotionless and uncaring through our divorce, and how I guilt-tripped her into agreeing to my demands of 50-50 custody, and how I should just agree to the eventual adoption in a few years because she has always wanted a son, and that I will still remain my son's dad and I can still visit him.
Just as his
bitch.
sperm
Wow.
donor.
Wow.
And keep in mind,
honestly-
this is the ex's girlfriend or wife, I guess now.
Well, first of all, she
work
has
friend.
none of that to say in any of this.
Exactly. She should have zero say.
Also, like hot take, that kind of like starts ringing alarm bells of, oh yeah, met your ex-wife while we were at work, and then I slowly over the course of 8-9 years Like, weeded my little way into her, and now I have, like, controlled her, and I am getting her to self-isolate from all friends and family, and fuck you for getting in my way of that.
I mean, there could be some of that going on here.
That's me talking extremely rapidly about a situation that no one will ever know the true details of, but...
Yeah. Anyways, he says, I told her that I don't care what her emotional state was during the divorce and that my demands were fair even to the most irrational person. I told her that if they want to create this image of a perfect family, then they should have another kid that has no connection to me. Fair. I feel like all this has started to affect my son more than anything. He is a lot less happier than he was.
Pregnant.
Goddamn. In just a few months as we started to adjust to this new reality. For context, since I know this is going to come up eventually, the emotional trauma of my ex coming out is basically the fact that her family effectively disowned her after coming out. Her parents don't talk to her anymore, while my son has plenty of interactions with his maternal grandparents when he's... while my son still has plenty of interactions with his maternal grandparents when he's with me. Those two combined make significantly more money than I do alone. However, my ex-wife makes less money than me, but her partner is in a senior position, so she has more stability. Ooh. So she fucked up. She fucked upward on the corporate ladder. Good for her, you know?
No, she's lesbian.
Okay, sorry. She scissored up.
She carpet munched.
Oh, goddamn.
That makes me think, like, even more so too. It's like, you know how an abuse tactic is causing isolation from friends and family, and then treating them like you're the only person that could possibly understand them, and like getting cut off from everyone.
Yeah. Anyways, he goes on to say, this is also an argument my ex-wife used when we discussed adoption, since they can then send our son to a private school and generally give him a better life. So,
I
like,
consider
what?
that
Like,
abuse.
you can't do that. Like, they can't do that now.
Not with shared custody, private schools.
Not with shared custody. Yeah,
friend.
you have to hold it. You have to dangle it over this kid's head for like a better education.
Right.
What a terrible people.
Yeah.
Damn it, Timmy. You could have been a doctor, except you loved your dad too much, you selfish bitch.
Yeah. And he's saying, I don't know if this is a factor, but the recent elections may have caused this because they are worried that they might not be able to adopt soon, but they don't want to adopt my son now, but in a few years, so I doubt this to be true.
Wait. So is this in the U.S.?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, if it pertains to the whole 2025 project or whatever.
Yeah, Project 2025.
Yeah.
The thing that no one wants to do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so there's a few updates. There's quite a few updates, honestly, to this story. I think there's like four posts by this guy.
Initial gut reaction using your mind computer with just the initial story. What do you think?
Yeah. What are you guys feeling about this? Because I I think this is the shit's insane. Like,
well, it is. Oh man, how do we even start on this? I feel like, first of all, the ex-wife's girlfriend feels very manipulative and is talking into her ear about all this with what she's wanting.
pulling a worm tongue.
Yeah, and then the ex-wife has her own issues with trying to use her son as manipulation between the whole situation.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I really do think that this is like just some like crazy psyop tactic, basically.
Yeah.
Like weaponizing trauma, weaponizing your your identity essentially to try and like, manipulate his dad into just giving up his kids. So you have your life now. It's like, sorry, your life. Sorry, like you're a lesbian and you felt forced into this marriage, because you can see how that would be hard for someone where like they grow up and they're kind of forced to be like straight, otherwise they feel like they're gonna get this. And turns out that's justified later for her, which awful, terrible, that shouldn't have happened. But what she's doing now should not be going on. Like,
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it feels like, hey, this is the life that I should have been living. You owe me that. Give me.
And it sounds like she's pinning the blame on him for her feeling this way.
Yeah, lashing out and just trying to take back some power in a weird way, essentially.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this dude, the dude, I feel like doesn't have all the information he needs to actually get like closure. Or like any idea of what to actually do, which is just going to cause more confusion, lots of bad results, right?
No, yeah, it will.
Honestly, like bottle of protein powder, $40, pre-workout, maybe another 40. You know what to do.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, update. Here's the update, y'all. Hope you're ready for this. Hi, all. It's been crazy seeing everyone's reactions to the situation, and I wanted to share a quick update with you all. First of all, I'd like to clarify that my son and I have been going to therapy since the divorce. He's doing quite well until the whole mom saga happened. My in-laws disowned her after she came out. They were not even aware about the affair when she came out to them. They still spend time with my grandson under the condition that they don't badmouth my ex and don't preach their views to him. They agreed.
Okay, so they're religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's anyway. Go ahead.
Well, I mean,
can make a religion out of this.
If she's Latin, I mean, yeah, it's a big part of the culture. Católicos. They agreed and said that they valued a relationship with the grandson over any political view they might hold. I have been a part of every interaction that they have had with him because I was worried that they might say something. Thankfully, this has not been the case. Her extended family has said to me that they have all cut her off as well, some for the affair and some for her being gay. So, you know, the ones for the affair, good on them. The ones for her being gay, terrible people.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you do every step wrong and still got a passable answer?
Because not once, even through the
you submitted no homework and you failed every assignment. But I guess technically, someone says we have to ignore you and give you a D.
Yeah, goddamn. Anyways, our mutual friends also cut her off because of the affair. All our mutual friends were my work buddies and their spouses and partners. I did not ask them to do anything. They came to the decision on their own. I was actually glad when she told me that she had made a friend on her own, as she used to complain about not liking her colleagues. And we all know how that turned out.
I don't like my colleagues except this one who I really
like. Oh, man. I'm pretty sure they're not planning to skip the country. Oh, yeah, that was a big fear in the comments on that original post. Everyone was like, hey, you need to watch out. They might just like hijack your son and take him to Spain.
Yeah.
Pescavacados in Mexico.
Yeah. He says, I have all my son's documents and we decided it during the divorce because she was still figuring out where to go. And since I was moving in with my sister, the chances of them getting misplaced were low. I have also had no demands for any documents, and she returned the passport to me when we came back. The whole adoption thing probably stems from the fact that my son has a very close relationship with his mother. The only times he has really complained to me is when she asked him to call her partner mom, and that she was making him do Spanish classes that he did not want. We did everything for him equally during our marriage, but I had to travel out of state to my parents frequently during COVID because they were sick with pre-existing conditions and couldn't take care of themselves. My sister was on assignment abroad at the time. My sister also agreed with this. Please let me know your thoughts. I listened to people and contacted my lawyer, who is also my friend, today. He told me the same thing as last time, and that it would take something really unusual for the adoption process to go through, like child abandonment. He also said that they a bunch of idiots that have no idea how the law worked. He also told me that
was he on the clock when he said that?
Probably not. He also told me that if
for that assessment,
we want to adopt him as a real thing, and if she is talking shit about me to my son, and I could prove it, I could get custody. This has not been the case, as I've not heard my son say that his mom says bad things about me. This brought me a sigh of relief. I plan to contact my ex today with the following conditions. Number 1, we both install parenting apps and document all interactions. Number 2, no more mention to me or my son regarding adoption or calling her partner mom. Number 3, no more posting images of my son as a part of their, quote, perfect queer family, end quote, because frankly, I don't want my son's photos on the internet when he is so young, and he can decide what he wants when he's older. Kind of get that. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that. It is like, I plan to talk to my ex in a couple hours. Please let me know what you think about this. So, how you guys feel about that update?
So it sounds like therapy seems to be working.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like they're getting closer to getting stuff figured out, but it sounds like I guess there's always gonna be some bitterness to it, but
yeah, but like, how could there not be? And also, like, it's good that there's a certain level of like proactiveness.
Yes, right.
Okay. Final update. But hint for the end of this is not the final update. This motherfucker just thinks it is. Hi all.
Statement retracted.
So I talked to my ex today. She was busy yesterday and I wanted some more time to gather my thoughts. When we met, I put forth my demands. She told me that the parenting app idea seems fine and that she has no problem with it. She got sad when I told her to drop the idea of adoption and calling her partner mom, as it's just not going to happen. She told me that her family was pressuring her to settle down. I proposed after a year of dating, and I did not know this, and getting pregnant so soon after getting married was not what she had in mind. She got pregnant about a year and a half into their marriage, so that's, when she originally got pregnant.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I know, right? She told me that she was in the closet all her life because of her parents, and that she thought marrying me would cause her feelings to subside, and that she was happy until she met her partner. Which, I mean, this kind of sucks.
It's kind of like bliss. It's kind of like, would you rather live in ignorance or live with the truth, sort of thing.
Yeah. She did go through postpartum depression after giving birth, but I did not know that she didn't want to get pregnant so soon. So like, communication was never there.
Yeah.
With that. And it sounds like she's already hiding a lot of shit because of, her homosexuality and feeling like she had to hide that upbringing. So it probably is just difficult for her to talk about that.
And then, like, he's a dude, so if an issue isn't brought up that he is unaware of, then he's not gonna know.
Yeah. She then told me that her wife and her, that the reason they wanted to adopt my son was because she wanted to start new. She then said that she was never really happy during our marriage, which contradicts what she was just saying, but that's fine. And that with her new wife, she could have the family she always dreamt of having. Okay.
You still can, but
yeah,
you can have your own kid. It doesn't mean you have to rip it away from the father.
Exactly. She didn't want my son to grow up to resent her for being a lesbian, as he doesn't have the any exposure to people like her apart from her and her partner. And he says, look, I have to be honest here. I don't know any gay people, nor anyone in my friends or family is gay. We never talked about these things because it simply doesn't come up in our daily life. But that doesn't mean me and my son have no idea who they are, especially after the divorce.
Those fucking cryptids.
Honestly, it's kind of crazy that he doesn't know anyone gay. I feel like, I mean, like, isn't like this statistic of like percentage of homosexuality appearing in like human populations is like a third or something crazy like that, right?
The only statistics I actually know are how many aggressor intercessors can be shot and killed with a charge roll.
Well, how many can be shot and killed?
Blatantly a lie.
Yeah,
you don't do damage. You don't do damage.
I just immediately call you out on that. Yeah.
No. You don't do damage with the charge roll. That was the lie. But approximately 3.5 is my expected damage output because we got nerfed to the fucking ground, boys.
Oh, so sad. Yeah.
I'm still mad about that.
Warhammer, for those unaware. Anyways, I told her that this is not going to happen and that he has had lots of exposure to people from her community. I told her that seems like a bullshit reason for separating my son and me, and that she's making up some random reason to make her seem like it is okay. After some arguing, she told me the real reason why she and her partner want to adopt my son. Reddit? You guys are crazy for your prediction abilities. Like, honestly, wow. Apparently, they wanted to adopt my son because her wife and her are considering moving to Spain in a few years.
Well, there you go.
Yep. I told her that she can't do that and that the legal framework supports me and my rights in both countries. She told me she knew this and that's why they wanted to get me to sign adoption. I told her that she was crazy, that she in no way is able to do this as she still needs my permission to take him out of the country as when she did when they got married in Spain. I also read a comment yesterday on the update and researched a bit on the laws regarding this, so I know this is not happening. She told me again that they have done their research, that this was to see if I would agree. In case I agreed, they would consider moving, and in case I don't, they won't because she doesn't want to be separated from my son. I again emphasized that this is not going to happen, and that if she tries anything or says anything to my son, I will sue for full custody. Which is...
Right.
I would too. Like 100%.
In his own right, you know, there's no battle for them in that regard for that to go in their favor.
Yeah, exactly. She got sad again and told me that she wanted to check with me first. I told her, in what world would you expect me to give you and your wife full custody? First you divorce me, leave me for a woman, and then expect me to sign over my child and act like nothing happened. I told her from this point on, we will document everything, every interaction we have, and that if I even get a whiff of you trying to pull something, I will sue for full custody.
Honestly, there should have been documentation on both sides for every interaction anyways.
Exactly. Yeah. She got a bit scared at the idea of losing full custody. She didn't really consider me doing that, and she agreed. I then told her not to paint this picture of a quote-unquote picture perfect queer family that they are trying to do because that is not going to happen. Our son has a mom and a dad that he spends half of his time each with, not two moms.
It's like he gets two Christmases.
Yeah. He is not your affair partner's son. He is your son and mine. If you want a child with her, you can do so on your own. I then told her that the courts are more likely to side with me than you, in this case, because of the thing you have been trying to do, and the fact that I work from home and spend more actual time with him than you and your wife.
And brings in more money.
Yeah. Well,
that's good. That
he brings in more money than his ex-wife, but since the ex-wife is married, the income, both their income counts now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't the kids support system also have like an effect in that? Like,
I think so.
Like that's not really my forte, not my skill, but that kind of strikes to me like it would.
Yeah. Anyways, he says, I've been trying for him to have a stable relationship with both parents since the divorce because I don't want him to resent either of us. But if you try to remove me from his life, I will take full custody and deal with any resentment he has for either of us. I don't want to argue anymore, and I left the room. I secretly recorded the conversation because I wanted to have proof in case anything happens in the future. Go him.
Smart.
I would have done that too. Yeah. Honestly, Reddit.
And it depends. The legality of that depends on state. Some quite a large portion of the states, as long as one party is aware of a recording, i.e. the person recording it, it is completely legal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But in this instance, no matter what, I would have
I'd like just send it and deal with consequences later. But
later, exactly.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And he goes on to say, honestly, Reddit, I have been very angry at my ex since the divorce. I have not shown it around her and my son because I don't want her to use this against me in any way. I've been going to therapy, but I am still internally angry.
Jim.
Yeah. The comments she made today about our marriage really hurt me even more. I've spent 7 years with this woman, and her betrayal still makes me angry to this day. When I got home, I contacted my lawyer buddy, and he again reiterated that they would have to kidnap him. I asked him if there was anything else we could do, and he said that the current agreement is very thorough. We've made sure that if I want full custody or not is up to me, but I have to be sure that I want to put me or my son through the whole process. Yeah. I don't want my son to grow up without...
Like, definitely consider the son's feelings in that, because that's a lot.
Yeah. And that's kind of what he's saying. He says, I don't want my son to grow up without either of his parents, as that is just not healthy for him. That is why I won't sue for full custody now. If they're stupid enough to kidnap him, I'm sure they're not, then the laws side with me anyway. I know what position her partner is at their workplace, so I know they are making good money. To leave it all behind for no good reason. As for the passport thing, I have all his documents and all things such as notifying travel, hospital visits, and others are already in the signed custody agreement. We already have a legal framework for all this. I'm not going to sue for full custody now because I don't want that for my son. My ex-wife is still a good mother and loves him, and he enjoys spending time with her. Plus, my son is the type of person to openly voice out what he doesn't find okay to me. So I will know if they continue any of their nonsense. On a more positive note, y'all, I'm not against Spanish lessons, but he doesn't like them. I was just suggesting that he try some language he likes. There are other languages out there. I didn't say it to my ex then, but now I know she was trying for him to learn Spanish because of the Spain thing. So he thanks everyone for their support.
It's been like being talked about and being worked on for a much longer time than I think anyone was like willing to admit.
And it sounds like this guy, it's easy to make it sound like he's been rational through this whole thing. Obviously, he's probably been in some dark spots going through all this, but it sounds like he really kept himself together going through all this, besides his fucking unyielding rage.
No, exactly. I mean, I can't imagine like just being lied to like that for 7 years, basically, and just, you think you're in love, and it's just all a lie. Well,
it's kind of like the snowballing effect, where it's like, okay, I can deal with what's on my plate now. You're planning to do what? Never mind. I have to add more to the plate.
Yep.
Well, I feel like it didn't have to. It didn't have to be for nothing in that regard. You still could have. It felt like she really said it in the worst way possible, and she regretted every second of it. Even though it could have been like, no, my time with you was happy, but I do feel better being this other direction.
Yeah, being
Not-
honest with who I am.
Yeah, and
Yes.
honestly, like it sounds like she was pretty repressed. So like,
Yeah.
you can't totally fault her for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Like, yeah, what she went through is awful, but then what she put this person through is equally awful. So it's like, yes, there is some.
I'd say it's like worse because you're dragging your kid into it.
No, 100%. That's exactly what she's doing. That makes her the asshole here.
Yes,
And so-
exactly.
Are you guys ready for the actual final update?
Oh yeah.
We in the business call that foreshadowing.
Yes. Hi all. Weirdly enough, I thought the last post was the final update, but a few weird things have happened. My son was with my ex for the last week and came back to me yesterday. I wanted to write this update because people have been very helpful, although I did get some hate messages and DMs, which is
I want to read those.
right. Anyways, me and my girlfriend decided to get out of the city for a few days when my son was with his mom, and it's been really healthy for the both of us. Yesterday, when she dropped my son off, we had a little talk. She apologized and told me that she will not force her son to do anything. She then told me that she is sorry for trying to convince me for adoption and that she will not do it again. I said fine and told her that it was a stupid idea in the first place. No, you didn't. Don't have to rub salt in the wound, but I would there too.
I'd probably say worse, but not necessary.
She then told me that she had news and that they are planning to adopt a child. Since they really needed a complete family and that I should not be forced to give up my son.
They're like stitching the veins, like, give me child.
She sounded a little condescending while she said that, but I didn't go after it too much. I said, whatever makes you too happy. She then told me that after they adopt a baby, she wanted to revisit the custody agreement. This bitch. This bitch.
Be like, wow, look at
So-
guys, this
Since she
like
will have to make time
apologizing.
for the new baby as well, she also told me that they have decided that her wife will be hands off with my son and will try to put herself in the role of a parent. I told her okay, that's probably for the best since he already has parents. My son also told me that his mom told him that he might have a sibling very soon. He said that he was excited at the idea. Personally, I don't think it's a bad thing either as long as they don't try to push me out of my son's life. Fair. Here's where I'm a little bit conflicted. She told me that she wanted to revisit the custody agreement in the future. I'm worried since they couldn't adopt my son, they are now trying to adopt a baby. This seems to me like a weird solution to a weird problem. Revisiting the custody agreement so soon after we had a fight over adoption seems extremely weird to me. And this has been a very strange turn of events. If they could adopt in the first place, then why put me through all that? I genuinely,
fuck you.
yeah, I genuinely
Yes,
don't know how to react to this now. I don't know if revisiting the custody agreement is a good idea or not. I know I should be happy at the prospect of having more time with my son, but I don't know what to do now. And he says she wanted them to switch from a 50-50 to 75-25, where she only had him for a week and then he had him for like 3 weeks.
Your
Wow.
mom's starting a new family.
Yeah.
With Blackjack.
Well, and that ties into again. That might be a question you want to ask your son. Is that something he's going to be okay with? Just in a side thing there, but
Yeah.
And also, like, do that formally. Do not do that informally whatsoever, because
yes,
Yeah.
can't she go, hey, he had the kid this entire time when the thing says this, so give me that time back.
Yeah, no, that's you'd have to do that formally. So, which, yeah, she didn't put anything legally right now, but told me that what she wanted. So yeah, it sounds like they are planning on doing it legally. So they are going to.
It feels weird that she didn't get what she wanted with that, and then is all of a sudden, kind of sidestepping and pushing her son back in a way.
Yeah, pushing him out of the picture because now she has this new life, and because she can't take him, she's then just going to cut him out almost in a way.
Yeah, right.
Because she wants to essentially
She probably-
like reinvent herself.
Yeah, she probably would never admit it like that, but that's kind of what it feels like.
And that's what she's doing. It's like, I understand the idea of feeling like you were living this life for so long and a lot of it was forced. And now that you're out and open, you can be happy. And so you're trying to like, you're trying to express yourself and be your true self for once. But
yes, right.
Your choices still, and those consequences of those choices, which unfortunately in this case, one of those consequences was you had a family.
Yeah.
That family is still yours. Yeah.
At the very
so you can't
least,
just abandon them.
and at the very least, be there for them, at least until they're an adult.
Yeah. Well, and even then, after they're adult, you should still like have contact with them and stuff.
Oh yes,
but yeah, you should be involved in like helping to raise them, and
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just-
I don't know, man. It feels like she's been sour through this whole thing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm
Yeah.
as conflicted as the guy is there with this.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know. I in this situation, I'd just kind of be like, at that point, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. Whenever we do this legally.
No, that's where I would be at. It's like, does it directly affect me? No.
Yeah.
Whatever, man, I couldn't care.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be worried about my kid and, making sure he's
Mhm.
getting therapy, but
Well,
Other
I
than
think
that,
that's
there too.
affecting.
I mean, because there's only so much you can do as a partner. And if you have a
you're
shitty
kinda like,
partner,
okay, like you're living your life, not
Yeah.
affecting me or the kiddo. So like, man, I really couldn't care less what you do.
well, I mean, her pushing the kiddo out of her life is affecting the kiddo.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Mhm.
But
Which is-
it's
Yeah. It's
uh,
just hard. It's a hard situation for that kid. And for that
yeah, no,
dad,
like,
that dad to be in. That's,
feels bad for the kid, man.
yeah.
Hmm?
Poor kid.
I will say, Tyler, I feel like you picked a good first topic here. Or first, am I the asshole?
Yeah, banger, right? Banger of an episode.
Yeah.
Women banger.
Yeah.
Came out- hey.
Hey, bringing it back.
I feel like that would be a good title, but we might get slandered for that one.
It's a hashtag lesbian mommy.
Should be the title of this hashtag lesbian mommies. Episode 1 of Are We the Assholes? Hashtag lesbian mommy.
Yes.
Oh,
man.
classic. But yeah, verdict here from you guys. This is something I feel like we should do at the end of every story is we just kind of come up with our own verdict. The dad, is he an asshole?
No.
I mean, no. Right. Yeah, no.
No,
No, but he needs to hit the gym. Work through that rage.
You never know. He might already have been, getting swole.
More.
or at the very least
More.
has a different outlet to get that anger out, like he was saying.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah,
been going to
like-
therapy, so.
But no, I think he's in the right for that.
No,
I want
definitely.
to see if I can find a Reddit story, not to sidestep what we just talked about, but to find a Reddit story where somebody says, "Am I the asshole?" But he actually is the asshole. Or
That
they
happens
yeah.
more than you would think. Like,
Does
they
it?
try to,
Yeah.
like people try to make themselves sound better than what they are because first person stories. But like,
Yeah, right.
there are some where it's real obvious.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll get some more where I'm like, yeah, this guy sucks. So I'll find
Also-
some. I just figured this would be a good first episode.
Hell yeah, I agree.
Yeah, rather topical, rather serial. There were some jokes, there was some laughs, there was some cries,
Very, 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 very much so.
and there was even people not wanting to bang guys.
Yeah,
Hmm.
true.
I feel like it was well rounded.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to Are We the Assholes? Please leave us a like and review, and leave a comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. This is something new we're trying out. If you're here from Hard Homies, thank you.
For anyone
We've
who wants
abandoned
to
you
go check
because
that
we
out.
are the assholes.
Yeah, no, if you're a Hard Homies fan,
All four
I
of
don't know,
you.
we might do something.
You know what?
We might do something for you.
You should put this episode on that channel and link it to the new one.
We
That's
only
what I was
have
planning on
one
doing.
Channel.
Oh god. Yeah,
It's mixed with the Tyler's thing, and then just us drunkenly explaining Warhammer lore.
Yeah, no, this one is going to be on the new channel though that we create. So yes, but thanks guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We'll
Bye.
see you next week. Bye bye. Bye now.